It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. President of the Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune orders the urgent return of vital and basic services to citizens in all provinces affected by the recent weather and starting compensating those affected. And this was highlighted during the meeting of the Council of Ministers. Today was the D-Day for over than 12 million pupils. The new school year kicked off this Sunday with a special beginning marked with awareness lessons about road safety in all the schools across the national territory. And representing the President of the Republic, Ahmed Attaf, participates in the opening session of the Future Summit in New York, and bilateral talks with several of his counterparts and officials of international organizations were held. On the international scene, Moroccans continue to revolt against the Maxence policy, a policy stained with corruption and other crises that we will tackle by the end of this edition. Welcome back, everyone. First of all, the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chatted a meeting of the Council of Ministers devoted to a joint presentation on the consequences of the recent bad weather and to a presentation on the kickoff of the new academic year, as well as the new social year. Rania Al-Bahri with a full statement released by the Presidency of the Republic.
Regarding the progress report on the digitization process, the President of the Republic directed the High Commissioner to submit a detailed and accurate report at the next cabinet meeting, explaining the percentage of linking the data of the ministerial sectors internally and highlighting the progress of the National Data Center and the deadlines for its delivery. Regarding the consequences of the recent weather disturbances, the President of the Republic expressed his sincere thanks and gratitude to all the volunteer citizens, executives and various state bodies who participated in the solidarity campaign in the areas affected by the floods in our south. He ordered the necessity of restoring vital and basic services to the benefit of citizens in all the affected provinces as soon as possible, including transportation. Redirecting valleys using appropriate technical methods to avoid similar damage and adopting methods of preparedness and proactiveness for these natural disasters, despite the fact that these floods are non-seasonal and have a 50-year cycle. Regarding the presentation on the school year, the President of the Republic noted with satisfaction the normal conditions that characterize the school year, expressing his thanks to the professors, teachers, educational bodies, governors and local officials who were on time by committing to the deadlines for using the new educational structures. The President ordered that his commitment to issue the basic law for the education sector be respected before the end of the year. He also ordered the Minister of Education to adopt and generalize electronic tablets instead of school bags at the rate of no less than 50% at the end of the current school year. He stressed the importance of continuing efforts to take care of repeat grade students and give them reintegration opportunities as much as possible to reduce school dropout. Reorganizing school sports and physical education, allowing for the production of an elite athlete and creating competition. The need to launch the National School Championship for team sports starting in January 2025. Regarding a presentation on university admission, the President of the Republic thanked all the goodwills in higher education for achieving the advancement of the sector regionally and internationally, as its progress has become tangible and recorded in international rankings. He ordered the Minister of the sector for further advancement of university sports. He instructed the family of the higher education sector to maintain stability and give great importance to update and modernize university services. The President of the Republic ordered to consider creating a new organization for granting students of higher excellence a good working conditions after their graduation. Before concluding, the President of the Republic ordered the preparation of presentation and the irrigation of foreign trade sectors for the next Council of Ministers. He stressed once again to the government that scarcity will never be allowed, whatever its reasons, ordering greater vigilance at the level of the Ministry of Trade to combat import lobbies that are trying to blackmail the state by withdrawing their licenses and commercial records as soon as their involvement is proven. Preparing a presidential decree regulating foreign trade, including export operations that require accurate financial and economic feasibility studies for the national and international markets so that exports do not become a source of scarcity and disruption of the national market. At the end of the meeting, the Council of Ministers approved appointments and termination of duties in senior positions in the state.
The new school year kicked off today, and with a special beginning marked with awareness lessons about road safety that took place in all the schools across the national territory, which welcomed over 12 million pupils. Najh Tayar has the details.
As the new school year begins and under the theme of road safety, an important awareness lesson on this regard was held in all the schools across the country. Given the important role of the schools in enhancing alertness of risks associated with traffic accidents, the Education Minister Abdel Hakim Belabed made sure to attend this inaugural course in Salah Waldaudia Primary School in Benaknoun. The education sector is ready to welcome the 12 million pupils. We've been preparing for the start of the new school year for months, and it's not just the education sector that's been involved. The whole government has contributed to these preparations. And to lighten the curriculum and encourage cultural, sporting and artistic activities to develop pupil skills, the ministry has restricted subjects and timetables in the first and second years of primary schools. The number of hours of sports and artistic activities in the primary schools will be increased from 7% to 20%, in a total of 2 hours per week, and 45 minutes of artistic education, a total of half an hour per week. Regarding the new infrastructures, almost 604 educational establishments will be completed across the country, including 354 new primary schools, 162 middle schools, and 88 high schools, as well as 459 school cafeterias.
And there was also back to school day for children with special needs who joined their classes early this morning. In a joyful atmosphere, 35,000 pupils have joined their respective schools across the country, while the Minister of National Solidarity, Kautar Kriku, reiterated the importance of ensuring a good care for these pupils. Still with education, 26 Palestinian pupils have joined their classes in the province of Tibaza after being evacuated this summer from Gaza Strip. Other means have been mobilized for these pupils to ensure an adequate school year with the best conditions by providing all the resources they need. In other news now, and representing the President of the Republic, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abad Ahmed Attaf took part in the opening session of the Future Summit, which is held at the headquarters of the United Nations in New York. A two-day summit devoted to discussing ways and means to strengthen the international cooperation. The Minister of Foreign Affairs will also participate in a debate on strengthening multilateral action in the service of international peace and security. On the sidelines of this summit, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Community of Ahmed Attaf had bilateral talks with a number of his counterparts and officials of international organizations. Ahmed Attaf discussed with the Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs and expatriates of the Republic of Kenya, Musalia Mudavadi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of the Republic of Rwanda, Vincent Biruta, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Sultanate of Amman, Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Minister of Foreign Affairs and expatriates of the Republic of Sudan, Hossein Awadali Mohammed, and the President of the International Committee of the Red Cross, Mirjana Spoljaric Agar, and Assistant Executive Director of the United Nations World Food Programme, Karl Skau. As the Zionist escalation on Gaza continues, intensive Zionist airstrikes on southern Lebanon killed at least one person and injured two others, targeting 3 towns in the south of the country with artillery and phosphorus shelling. The Lebanese Health Ministry stated that the death toll of the attack on a residential building in the capital Beirut had risen to no less than 45 martyrs. Up to the developments of the situation in the occupied Palestinian territories, the Zionist aggression on shelters continues as dozens of Palestinians were killed and injured in a Zionist bombing of a school housing displaced people in the camp west of Gaza. Just one day after targeting a school in a Zaytun neighborhood, which claimed the lives of 22 martyrs. The heavy rains, on the other hand, led to flooding with a large number of displaced people's tents, making it even harder for Palestinians to survive this genocide. In Morocco, the popular discontent continues as the Morsi regime keeps on its policy of social marginalization and exploitation to undermine the basic citizens' rights. The protests have become the only way for the Moroccan population to expose this policy to the world, a policy of discrimination and injustice demanding radical reforms for a decent life.
Several Moroccan associations and organizations responded to the call of the Moroccan Association for the Protection of Public Property. In front of the parliament, the mobilization was unfailing, all united to denounce the restrictions imposed on associations in their mission to fight corruption, a phenomenon that exposed the Morsi and brought down all the institutions of the country, delivering the Moroccan citizen to his sad fate, crushed by poverty, soaring prices and unemployment for all those who are present in the fight against corruption. Nepotism, illicit enrichment and the plundering of public funds is a collective battle that concerns each Moroccan citizen. The direction that the country has taken is becoming more and more authoritarian, mixing power and money while taking advantage of corruption and bribes. Despite the speeches on the need to link responsibility and accountability, this is not happening and impunity reigns. If you have money, you can do anything. I'm one of the victims of El House earthquake, and so far we haven't been compensated. At the beginning, a commission was sent, but nothing has been done. We are demanding the arrest of the corrupt officials who are embezzling the people's money. The sectors in crisis and discriminatory laws continue to exclude many candidates from competitive examination for access to the various professions, provoking the rage of young academics who thus find themselves condemned to unemployment. The education sector is the latest to be affected, with new regulations that have sparked heated controversy and increased tensions. This exclusion that we have suffered is racist discriminatory. It only deepens the social disparities. We have spent more than 20 years studying for nothing. Moroccans already face an increase in poverty, see their expectations in terms of quality of life and essential services constantly ignored, which fuels a deep feeling of injustice and despair. But the protest movements continue to demand justice.
That was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.